Hi, I'm Tony Buti, the Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Interests in the West Australian Government. I'm here with a few people today and I'm going to flick over to my very good friend and parliamentary colleague, Chris Tallentire, the member for Thornley.
Tony, Minister, it's fantastic to have you here at the Alliance Francaise de Perth. This alliance has been in Western Australia since 1911, so a great history with Western Australia. And I'll hand over to Thomas Feldstein, the Director of the Alliance.
Merci Chris, and merci Minister. Thank you for being with us today for this new episode of a cooking class. And I'm so happy to have you here at Alliance Francaise. Thank you. Our chef for today, she runs a healthy bakery and she's also one of our French teacher actually.
Okay, so we're looking forward to doing a bit of French cooking in a...
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Thomas, can you tell us a bit about the centre and also what you do here and a bit about the French community in Western Australia?
Yes. Actually, Alliance Francaise is first a language school. That is our core activity, to teach French, obviously. But we do organize a lot of cultural activities around France and France-related. Exhibition, movie night, cooking classes, of course, wine tasting also sometimes. Big event like the Tour de France.
Yeah, so what's that on your... Oh, there you go.
Yes,
the Tour de France.
of course. Bastille Day dinner, of course, Beaujolais night, this kind of things. But as a language school, we teach from beginners to advanced, very young kids. Our youngest student has a 19-month-old,
wow.
And the oldest is about 82 years old. Okay. So very wide number of students. Also, we do support. Families, French families here in Perth, where there is no French school, so we're here also for this. So we're happy to be part of the French network here in Perth.
Okay, well let's get going on some beautiful French cooking. So I believe we're going to do a pastry today.
Sure, yes, we are.
What is it?
It's called Tarte Tatin, which is a French famous dessert made in Sologne originally.
Well, of course, we've got apples in this beautiful pastry. What else have we got?
So apples, as you said, we've got eggs, butter and sugar, some flour and a bit of salt.
A bit of salt.
Easy.
Of course, you've got to have butter, don't you?
Of course, it's French cuisine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do some cooking now. Chris, why don't you peel the apples?
Yep, sure. Tout de suite.
So it has to be green apples always?
These work best for tarte tatin because they stay quite firm when they cook.
So these are Granny, well in Australia we call them Granny Smith. What would you call them in French?
Same, Granny Smith.
Okay, all right. Okay. And what part of France would be the main apple growing area?
It would be north of France, Normandy.
But it's cool, cooler weather.
Yeah, big country for that.
So Chris, you know, I know that you have strong French connections and you love France and so forth. So what's the connection? You lived there?
I did live there, and one of the first jobs I had in France, ironically, when I was in my early 20s, was working in a McDonald's. And that's where I began to learn French.
Okay, so we're cutting the apples up.
Yes.
And that's the size, is it?
So these are quite big apples.
Yeah.
So I cut them in big chunks like this.
Yeah.
If you have smaller apples, you can cut them just in half like this. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But otherwise, it's a bit too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also don't want it too thin, do you? Could it be
No,
a bit
that's
mushy?
it, because they do cook, of course, and
yeah.
then it would be too mushy for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Almost ready.
Almost done. The lemon being put on there is what, to stop it going too brown?
Absolutely, yeah. Because we're going to be busy with the pastry, so with this way it's fine.
This is a pastry, so I assume we're going to do the dough.
Yes, we are. We're making short crust pastry today.
Okay, you want to show us how you do it?
Sure. So you start with the flour.
Yeah.
250.
Yeah.
And then some sugar.
All right, so.
And then we have
the butter.
some butter.
Yeah. So is the butter room temperature or cold?
No, I use cold so it doesn't lose its shape too quickly.
Right, okay.
And then a little bit of salt, just a pinch.
Okay, so they're all the dry ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay, so I assume we've got egg there and water, I assume. Is that right?
That's it. So that's cold water.
Yeah.
And first we're going to crumble the butter inside the flour mixture.
Well, I think Chris and I should let you do that because we don't trust ourselves.
Okay.
So seeing we are doing French cuisine today, I assume French cuisine's the best out of all the three different.
Oh, twist my arm there a bit. But it is very good. Yes, I do love it.
Bit like we got the butter in that, and French do cook a lot with butter, don't they?
They do, yeah. In the south of France, you would see a lot of dishes with olive oil as well.
Okay.
But if you go to north of France, then butter is the way to go.
Right, beauty. Okay, so you've now worked the butter in with the flour. So what we do now, the wet ingredients?
Yes, so the texture has to be fine.
Oh yes,
like
well
this,
look at that,
like-
it's beautiful.
And now we're gonna add the egg,
Okay,
mix a little bit.
right. Only
And
one egg, right?
One egg is fine, yep. And then that's 2 or 3 tablespoons of cold water.
Cold water.
Yep. And now we just knead everything.
Look at that.
And
Right, that's fantastic. Look at that. Look at that colour. Hey, pretty impressive, eh, Chris?
Yeah.
So the texture is what, to be a little bit moist and a bit rubbery?
yeah, so it takes a while just to bind everything
Yeah.
together, but and you want to work quite quickly so it doesn't get too tough.
Yeah.
But it's going to come together eventually. That's come together.
That's beautiful.
And it's going to be ready to roll out after that.
Okay, so we have the beautiful dough there, so I suppose we're going to roll it out now, eh?
Yes, we are. So we use the flour and
Yeah.
lightly flour the surface. Okay.
So do you have a trick to determine how the texture should be? It's just how it feels in the hand, does it?
How it feels. It keeps together,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's quite soft to touch. So that's a
Yeah.
good one, hopefully.
So you're going to let me do a bit of rolling, are you?
Yes.
You
I'm
are
a bit
you're
scared.
very game. Oh,
Maybe flour the
yeah, maybe flour that, eh?
the thing. Yeah.
Want to give us a bit more flour there, Chris?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so we need a round shape.
Okay.
So maybe turn it around like that. Perfect.
Okay,
I'll teach
Chris,
you a bit.
I don't want to take the limelight, so how about you having a go as well?
I can only take it backwards from there, I think, but we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you didn't do this at McDonald's in Paris.
No, gosh. No, in some of the other hotels that I worked in, we would have great chefs, but they didn't trust me in the kitchen. I was doing the accounts mostly. So.
So that's about the thickness,
About
Ginella?
2.5 to 3
Okay,
millimeters.
that's probably about, I reckon that's about it. You want to fix it up
fix
for
it,
us?
yeah.
Come on, you better. We tried our best.
So when we see those amazing patisseries in France and we see dishes or cakes like Tarte Tatin, they've been made just this same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the restaurants, Tarte Tatin is a very common dessert to be served in big restaurants or small restaurants all over France and internationally.
Yeah.
So would you have this after a main meal? It's not like
Yes.
not like morning tea or anything like that.
I think after a main meal you would have it, yes,
Yeah.
and with some crème fraîche and or ice cream. I think you
Yeah.
enjoy ice cream here, vanilla ice cream.
No? Beautiful. So we've got the pastry rolled out. Well, how are we going to cook it?
The one I prefer to use is actually this one in a cast iron pan. And so we put the butter here with the sugar
Yeah.
and then the apples on top and cook it on the stove.
Okay.
But an easier method is
Yeah.
to use just a deep pie pan,
Yeah.
and we put the butter in the pan and the sugar on top, and that's going to be caramelized in
Ah,
the
right.
oven.
Okay. All right.
So the apple's going to come on
Yeah,
top,
yeah, yeah, right.
and then some sugar.
So is that white or brown sugar? White.
This is raw caster sugar.
Okay.
I like this sugar because it's fine and it gives a bit of caramel taste.
Okay.
And I just press the butter down like this,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I'll place the apples.
And it is a matter of placing the apples as well.
Yes, so you put the apples, the round side down,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
and display them like this. Do you want to help a
Sure.
Okay, so why don't we all do it?
bit? Yeah.
Get it all done.
So what you can do is just place your dish
Yeah.
on top, and then you cut around.
yeah.
Has to be just a little bit larger
Yeah.
than the actual pan. Maybe 1 centimeter larger than the edge of the pan.
Okay. Right.
It's a pretty good circle.
Very, very good.
And we take this off.
Right.
There we go. And now it's just to place on top. And there we go. And so what you do,
Yeah.
see it's a little bit larger. You have to kind of tuck it in like
tuck
this.
it in, yeah, right, okay.
Oh,
Very good.
perfect. This
That's it.
way the steam
Yeah.
can escape. And this goes in the oven at 180 degrees for 20-25 minutes.
So the final product, let's have a look. Oh,
Ça a l'air bon.
Ça a l'air très bon. Bien, bien fait.
whatever you're saying, all I can say, it looks beautiful and I can't wait to have a taste. Thank you.
Let's go.
That is beautiful. What would you say, how do you say delicious in French?
Délicieux.
Delicieux. This is delicieux. Absolutely beautiful. And I tell you one thing, I reckon next time I watch Australia, the Matildas play France in soccer, I want to eat this at the same time.
Good idea.
So look, thank you very much. Thank you for having us here. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful dessert. Thank you, Chris, for being with us.
Thank you.
And folks, this is another in our series of multicultural cooking. And if you want to find out more, go to the Office of Multicultural Interest website. Thank you very much, and thank you once again.
Thank you.
Merci.
We'll see you. Bon appétit.